All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm going to try to get my son to replicate that drum set. I'm afraid if I use the drum set, the real one from Tone Loc, that I might get dinged by YouTube. They might slap me. So I might see if I can get my son to do that. Or, hey, it'd be perfect. Eric G. Man. Eric G. Man's a drummer. I bet he could replicate that thing. And then I could put in Tone Loc saying this.
Let's do it.
And then either my son or Eric G's drum doing this. Hopefully I won't get dinged for that. Anyway, so this is, once again, this is Dan from the future. So this is Friday afternoon. And what we're watching on the screen, the audio is Friday afternoon. The video is this morning at 6:30. Again, I was in my room sitting next to Sleeping Beauty and her 7 dwarfs. They're all asleep, but I didn't want to wake them up. So I just did it in silent mode, so you can just watch me visually. And if you listen really closely, I think you'll hear my wife snoring. I'll try to turn it up, and I'll try to amplify it. Boy, she would kill me. Hopefully she doesn't watch this video. She'll kill me if she sees that I'm pointing that out. Actually, it's not my wife. It's just the boat creaking. It's like an old Spanish galleon. It's the wood. Anyway, I'll just let this play. You'll see me put these trades on in both real money and paper, and then we'll just cut to the wrap up this afternoon. All right. Here we go. It's Friday, July 19th, 5:43 p.m. So I'm just getting back into checking this stuff out from today. And I was aware that we got hit. We got stopped out today. But let's take a look at the whole trade. First of all, take a look at this. So we're back inside that. We finished inside that structure, which is something to make note of. Note to self. I'm not sure what to do with that yet, but I think there's something there to be looking at. Yesterday we were outside, but the previous days I think we ended up inside the tent. So keep that in mind. Anyway, here's the trades we made for today. So this morning we put on, this is our 0 DTE SPY Strangler trade. And we're in the paper trading phase of this. And this week I wish I would have stayed in the paper trading phase of this. Nah, it's all good. So we started off, well, we back tested this in option Omega. We did a bunch of back tests, and then we started to paper trade this last week. And with the idea being we're going to back test in option Omega, we're going to find ideas that look promising, and then we're going to paper trade those until they prove themselves or not. And then if they prove themselves in the paper trading phase, then we go to real money, one contract, and then we scale up from there if everything stays cool. So that's what we were doing with this. We were doing the paper trading, but then last week we were seeing some possible discrepancies between the paper trading, Thinkorswim's paper trading, and the real account. Another member, good old Eric G-Man, was doing some real trades. And so this week I decided to trade a one contract lot in both the real account, real money account, and in paper money account, and just see if there was any differences. And I haven't looked closely at it, but I think paper money is pretty close. I think it's close enough for what we're trying to do here. But it was a good exercise regardless. So this is Friday. This is the last day of this week's trading. I put on a real money trade every day this week, and then a paper trade every day this week, except for yesterday, no paper trade. And then coming up Monday, I think we're going to get our heads together next week and kind of discuss this strategy. Maybe I'll look back at some of the logs for the back test and see if this is out of line with what we were seeing with those, like what we've seen here. I mean, this week has been sort of, well, you can see right here, here's the SPY. This is pretty notable. So we've had some nice big down days here. Is this the top? I wonder if this is the top here. Everyone's talking about the top. I thought the top was way back. Jeez, look at this run. I thought the top was back in here, I think. Well, so here's a big move down we had to endure. So this could be another one of those. So maybe we'll look back at the back test for this section. I mean, what we're seeing right now may not be out of line, but regardless, we're going to get our heads together and we're going to brainstorm. We have a brainstorm session. Look at all these stats up to date, so far up to date. See what we think and if we want to make any tweaks or whatnot. But anyway, so this is the last day of the real money trades. Next week, if I continue to do this, I'll probably just go back to paper trading until I get some more positive info. But let's take a look at where today's trade wound up. So here's where we were. This is a live money trade. So I sold out a put for $40 and a call for 41. So this is the initial strangle we had on, and then I got stopped out of this. I got stopped out probably about an hour, maybe an hour or two in, because we were having a big downside move. And here's the stop. So the stop triggered as it should have. So I had to buy that back at 122. And then at the end of the day, I bought back the call for $1. So the final trade, the final stats on today's trade was minus 42. So I've already filled out the Excel sheet. I'm just trying to clean this thing up today. So first thing is, there was a mistake yesterday I made on, so the real money trade yesterday was the fiasco trade, and where I thought I had stops in, but I didn't, and I was off partying in Mexico. While the crap was hitting the fan. Anyway, so the totals for yesterday, for some reason I said yesterday that the total the total profit and loss for yesterday was minus 84, and that's not correct. the correct is that's what we would have bought it back for had I had those stops in place. So I have three versions. One is the mobile mess up, what I actually wound up with because I didn't have the stops. I messed up the stop loss. I had no stops in place, and so I wound up with about a minus 240 loss. But in the last 10 minutes of the day, I flipped that into this thing I'm calling the Frank's failsafe flip adjustment. And I'm going to turn that Frank's failsafe flip adjustment into its own thread and its own like little course, or whatever you want to call it, its own section of the website, because I think it'd be really cool to follow that along. And so if you watch yesterday's video, you'll see the initial the flip, the risk graph from the flip. And I wanted to wait till today to see if that was actually going to be if that was the real deal or not. And it was the real deal, so that's good. And I'm going to do a video this weekend. So we're getting back to the mainland. Boy, I always wanted to say that. We're getting back to the mainland tomorrow, Saturday. So I'm going to I have a couple of videos this week I'm going to try to pump out. And one of them is that, kind of like just do the wrap up and the catch up on that. But I can tell you that it is the genuine real deal, that what we saw yesterday is what it is. And so that trade was saved with like about, I think, I forget the exact amount, like $160 of profit in it, as well as the Nvidia OG trade. That trade was closed out today, and everything went as planned on that. That was a success, and those OG trades are really, really, really cool. Anyway, let's get back to this. So I'm gonna monitor this for the tracking purposes as if I had the stops in place, and that would have been, I would have bought that back for 84. Would have bought that leg back for 84. So these are the credits I brought in, and I would have bought that back, and that would have left us with a $33 loss. So not an $84 loss for yesterday. If the stops had been in place and triggered correctly, we would have ended up with a $33 loss yesterday. So that's yesterday's fix. And then here's today's trade. So today we got in, we sold the put for 40, we sold the call for 41. That gave us 81 credit. And then the stop on the put side got hit for 122, so we minus 122 out of there. And then there was the call bought back for $1. So all in all, we wind up with the minus 42 for today. And then the final tallies of everything up to today. This includes the initial week of just paper trades only, and then it includes the real money trades that we put in here. Yeah, up to today. So all in all, this strategy is up $41, which is, it's not too shabby. I mean, it's not pretty good, but it's not that shabby considering these moves we've had over the last couple of days. And so then I also did a paper call. So that's the real money trade for today. And then I want to look at the paper money traded for today and just kind of compare it, see how that comes out. So I'll be back just a second. Let me pull up the paper money account. Okay, so here's the paper account today, the trade we put on. So today we put on, in the paper money account, we sold the 549 put for 45, and then we sold the 556 call for 36. And you can see the 549 was bought back. It hit the stop at 137, and you can also see that the closing orders, none of those went. So it seems as though in the paper money account, those fancy orders, those one cancel the other orders, aren't triggering correctly, kind of hit and miss, or nothing at all like today. But in the real money account, they've been really accurate. I mean, every trade we put on, they've done exactly what they were supposed to do. So that must just be an issue related to the paper trade. So let me put this into the Excel sheet real quick. I'm going to say copy, and again, this is the paper. This is the paper trade version. So let's say this is the real money. This is the paper money. Paper money. Let me get rid of those. I'll put this up here. So we sold the put for 45, and then we sold a call for 36, and then we were stopped out on the put for 137. And then I'll just put these numbers over here. I don't want to include them in the tally because we're using the real money numbers for today. So the paper money numbers for today is 45. We brought in 45 bucks. We brought in 36 bucks, and then we had to buy that back for 137. So that for today, the paper money trade lost $56. So that's that. That's how we wind up the week. So again, going into next week, regardless, I won't be doing real money trades anymore. I'll go back to the original plan of just paper trading these. We've kind of gotten enough info, I think, to see if the paper money trade is working as well as or is working the same as the real money trade, the same kind of triggers and all that. And I think that they're close enough. So I think we can rely on paper trade. I think it's close enough for government work. And so I'm gonna go back to paper trading next week. And then we're also I think we're gonna get our heads together and kind of talk about the strategy. And I'm gonna look back over some of the logs from the back tests and see if anything kind of jumps out as a huge difference from what we're seeing since we started to trade this 2 weeks ago. I mean, as far as the numbers are concerned, well, we're still, with the trades I've been doing on these videos here every day, we're still profitable, up by 41 bucks. So I think I'm going to just do a quick look at the logs, maybe do some on-demand back trading, like some manual back trading through some of those down moves we've had this year, and then come up with a plan for Monday. We either continue on or maybe make some tweaks. We'll figure it all out. All right, that's it for this one. If you'd like to follow me with these trades or any of the other trades I'm doing, just make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel below. Hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to join me on my website. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. Just head on over there, sign up for my free email newsletter. And then as soon as you do that, you'll get a welcome email. Just reply back to that welcome email and say, hey, what's up, man? And I'll say, let's do it.
Let's do it.
And then we'll go from there. All right, that's it for this one. Have a great weekend. See you later.